Hello students, again we meet on this platform, and in today's class obviously we will discuss about subcellular organelle and namely mitochondria. This is an important subcellular organelle. It is called the powerhouse of the cell. And why it is called the powerhouse of the cell? Because it produces the energy currency in the form of ATP. It produces the energy currency in the form of ATP. ATP is called adenosine triphosphate. It has two high energy phosphate bonds. When those phosphate bonds are broken, it liberates energy. That energy is utilized for different functions. Like I am moving. This is also the handiwork of that ATP hydrolysis. But for that, to get that energy, you first synthesize the ATP. And that function, that is synthesizing of ATP, is done by the mitochondria or mitochondrion. I will try to draw one over here. Schematically, I am trying to draw. This is called the outer membrane. This one is the outer membrane. This one is the inner membrane. This is intermembranous space. This part is the matrix. This part is the matrix of mitochondria. This is colloidal in nature. This part is the matrix. And the infoldings of the inner membrane jutting into the matrix are called, yes, you are right, Christy. And apart from these bigger structures, there are certain finer points. Like you will find DNA. And here I want to share a story about the biogenesis of mitochondria in the evolutionary relationship. Means how mitochondria first appeared in the biological world. Actually, a very important theory of biology which describes or which explains why mitochondria and how mitochondria ended up inside the cell. It is, the name of that theory is endosymbiotic theory. I'll write over here. So, endo means something is going inside. What is going inside? A free-living, respiring bacterial species was engulfed by a bigger cell. And that bacterial entity ended up being the mitochondria. And over time, it could shed few of its property. And you all know that DNA is the blueprint of any living organism. So, whatever if structure we are having, it is because of our DNA. Whatever structure the mitochondria is having, it is because of DNA. But its DNA is certainly not encoding all the property related, protein structure related thing by its own DNA. No. Some of its gene has already been transported over evolution. Some of its gene already been transported to the host nucleus. That's why the genes coded by mitochondrial DNA is not all of the proteins found inside the mitochondria. Some genes or some proteins rather are transported from outside. Okay. Now I'll go into detail. Only one I will show. These black blobs or dots obviously are ribosomes. As there are presence of ribosome, there is DNA. So obviously some sort of protein synthesis will happen over here. Also, very important, these big round head structures are actually the ATP synthase. I hope it is legible. The big round structures are ATP synthase. The tiny black dots are representation of ribosomes. So This is the finer structure of mitochondria. And you have also heard about that endosymbiotic theory. Now we'll go towards what are the makeup of, means chemically. If you just analyze mitochondria chemically, what are those things? Obviously, the matrix should be colloidal in nature. It will be enzymes should be there. Also, some ions should be there. As well as because there are two membranes. So membranes, unit membranes are made up of proteins and lipids. But here the outer membrane and inner membrane in terms of protein lipid ratio may vary. It may happen that the outer membrane will be having more of lipid, less of protein, and inner membrane will be having more of protein, less of lipid. As well as the dimension. In the cross-sectional dimension, means this one, the mitochondria varies from 0.2 to 1 micron, 0.2 to 1 micron, and this in the longitudinal dimension is of 1 to 4 micron. That means it has an elongated shape, but different shapes of mitochondria have been reported in various cells. Also the number, like actively respiring, metabolically very active cells like liver cells, sperms, etc. will have a higher number of mitochondria. Now we'll turn towards the important function of mitochondria, that is ATP synthesis. ATP synthesis is the handiwork of an enzyme complex called ATP synthase. Before going into it, the lineage, how we will end up into ATP synthase. You know that whenever we take in glucose, any eukaryotic cell taking in glucose, that glucose will undergo glycolysis in your cytoplasm, the cells of your cytoplasm. One very important factor for glucose to be internalized is called the glucose transporter. If there is a problem in that glucose transporter, it's called GLUT. Glucose transporter. If there is a problem in the glucose transporter, then abnormal metabolism of glucose happen. Blood glucose level may be rising up, so diabetes and etc. will fall in. So that glucose transporter will internalize the circulating glucose inside the cell. Now first the glucose will undergo glycolysis. That glycolysis will happen in the cytoplasm, and after first stage of glycolysis, pyruvate will be formed. Pyruvate will be forming. That pyruvate will be transported through outer membrane, intermembrane space and inner membrane into the mitochondrial matrix. There mitochondrial matrix, in the mitochondrial matrix, pyruvate will biotransform into acetyl-CoA. That acetyl-CoA will enter tricarboxylic acid cycle. That tricarboxylic acid cycle will produce NADH. That NADH will give the H to the carrier protein, chains of carrier protein present in the inner mitochondrial membrane called electron transport chain. Electron means E, transport, T, chain. See, ETC. That ETC is a collection of carrier protein like cytochromes and etc. And that electron transport chain, the different carrier proteins will in a sequential order will be oxidized and reduced. Oxidized and reduced by the flow of electron. By the flow of electron. And in doing so, there would be an electrochemical gradient formed across the inner mitochondrial membrane. That differential of electrochemical gradient will be stored into the ATP. And who will do so? The ATP synthase. So ATP synthase will produce the ATP taking the advantage of the electrochemical gradient formed across inner mitochondrial membrane. Now we'll turn towards ATP synthase. ATP synthase is called Fernandez-Morin subunit. It has two parts, F1 head and F0 base. F1 head and F0 base. F1 head, okay, I'll just draw now. I'll try to draw it. Suppose this is the inner mitochondrial membrane. This is the matrix. I hope it is clear. Matrix. And that is the means inner membranous space. Here we'll find the mitochondrial matrix. Actually, I'll have to omit this one as well. It might look like this. Flowery head, round shaped flowery head, and there would be different proteins at the base. This is the F1 head and that is the F0 base. And actually ATP synthesis happens at the head position. I'll again suppose this is one Christie. Suppose there is that ATP synthase. What will happen? ADP plus PI will be forming ATP. I hope it is clear. So this is the head, this is the matrix part, this is the inner membrane, intermembrane space. Here this is the matrix. Here actually this ATP synthesis happens. Now another small information about F1 and F0. F1 is a collection of 5 types of protein. 3 polypeptides of alpha, 3 polypeptides of beta, 1 polypeptide of delta, 1 polypeptide of gamma, 1 polypeptide of epsilon. So F1 head is made up of 5 different alpha, beta, delta, gamma, epsilon, but 3 alpha, 3 beta, 1 delta, 1 gamma, 1 epsilon. So how many number types is 5, but number 3, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9 polypeptides would be there of 5 types. And F0 would be 3 different types of protein. 1A, 2B and 12C. So A, B, C, 3 different types of polypeptide. Polypeptide means amino acid, chains of amino acid, which is also the alternative name for protein, means in the broader term. One type of A would be there, 2 B types and 12 C types of protein, means in the F0 base. This is the final structure, this is its function, and with that we come to the end of today's